Okay, not this week, this time I'm gonna probably split this video into two, or maybe even three, we'll see. I'll try and break it up into like 5-minute chunks. Anyway, this is for homework 7, which I just accidentally erased, but that's okay, now my pen works. Sweet. So let's move to number one. Number one's been, it's really similar to the ones we've been doing. It's got distribution, which you need to do, and it's got, after that, you can simplify things on both sides and keep working towards solving your equation. So remember, to solve an equation, you're trying to get x all by itself on one side. Right now, it's in the middle of these parentheses, so you have to distribute. So -1, well, the negative times 1 gets you -1, so 7 minus 1, and then negative times 3x gets you -3x. Right side we got -5 times 6, which is -30, and -5 times -4x, which is positive 20x. And then the plus 7 on the right side is there. You can then simplify on both sides. The -30 and the 7 combine to make -23, and the 1 and the 7 on the left makes 6. And the x things have not been touched. And this looks a lot like a previous homework. Hold on, let me pause this. And so I checked, and yes, this is exactly the same problem, same number one that was on homework 6. And so I am just going to keep writing. If you want to see this explained, you can watch the other video. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm choosing to pick the right side for my variables, for my variable, and so I'm going to add 23 to both sides to get rid of it on the right, and I'm going to add 3x to both sides to get rid of it on the left. So left is where I'm going to put my non-variables, and on the right side is where I'm going to put my variables, and then you divide both sides by 23 to get x all by itself. So x gets you 29 over 23, like it did on the last homework. So let's move on to number 2, and this one has that fancy OR statement there. Okay, so we have two separate inequalities. We got the one on the left and the one on the right. We need to solve both of them separately. So let's just focus on the left side. Since I got 3x on the left and an x on the right, and there's no other non-x's on the left side, I'm going to choose to just get rid of the x on the right, and when I do the right one side, you do the other. So now I'm at 2x greater than -8, and now I want to get x by itself still, so I'm going to divide by 2, and so that gives me x is greater than -4. At this point, I have my solution for my left side. X is greater than -4. On the right side, I still only have just a variable term on the left side, and on the right has a variable and a constant term. So I'm going to choose to put my variables on the left, because the left is already only variables. So I get rid of them on the right, and now I'm at -2x, and that's going to be greater than -12. I'm going to divide by -2, and when you divide by a negative, you have to switch the direction of your inequality. So I'm going to get x is, and I messed that up, x is less than 6, because -12 divided by -2 is 6. So this is part 2. Okay, now that you have both of those answers there, you can then graph it on the number line and decide what the actual solution is. Okay, so when we graph it on the number line, you need to look at what your range is. So I got from -4 to +6. Those are like our key numbers. So yeah, that means we should probably put like 0 in the middle-ish. And I'm just going to count by 2s on both directions. So -2, This would be -6, -4, -8, and yeah, you just put your tick marks down. That should be 4, 6, 8, okay. And you're going to graph both of them on the same number line. So let's graph this left part first. I'm going to put an open circle because it doesn't have a line here. So open circle, and x is greater than -4, so I'm going to shade right. And I'm going to use a different color just to show their different graphs. Here, this one's going to be orange. So this one's going to shade to the right. And I'm going to graph the right side inequality. I'm going to use this and do it in green. I'm going to have a circle at 6, open circle, and I'm going to shade left because x is less than 6. So I'm going to shade left. Bloop, 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 shade, shade, shade. Okay. So this solution, if you notice, it covers the entire graph. And we started out with an OR statement. Or, when you're looking for what solution satisfies our two inequalities, it's anything that got shaded by any inequality. So really our solution set is any number on the number line. So it's everything is our solution. It satisfies one or the other inequality. And I'm going to stop the video now. And the next problems will be on the next one.